Louisiana beer reviews. Kashmir from Highland Brewing IPA. Now this is an English style IPA. I was looking at some video reviews. I have a pretty good amount left to watch. Some people liked them. Greg's beer reviews, he hated them. He was flipping out on that video. He was mad because they didn't have the date. Well, now they have the date. February 12th, 2014 is when this was filled. So it's a little old. 6% alcohol by volume, just a wee bit different. I bought this at Kroger in Bristol, Virginia. They had make your own 6-pack for $9.99, I believe it was. So I figured I'd get some stuff I haven't seen around here. But I could walk into a beer store around here next week and I could see it. So I don't worry too much about beers not showing up around here because they tend to show up. Well, anyway, Greg said it had no hop aroma or flavor, and he gave it a D. He said it was a bad beer. And he was so glad. He said he was finished with the glass. Anyway, it was pretty comical to watch. It has a thin, off-white head and a, put it in front of those light bulbs, a mostly clear orange appearance, more gold than orange, I guess. Bubbly, quite bubbly. Yeah, I'm picking it up. There's some little white sediment floating about for sure. All right, let's get into the aroma. He was saying there wasn't much aroma, and I'm not picking up much either here. But it could have faded. I couldn't really worry about dates, though. I just had to pick what was available. It wasn't like I could go back to Bristol anytime soon. This is slight citrus, along the lines of apricot, maybe. It doesn't smell bad, it just doesn't smell much at all. The flavor, it's semi-bitter. You know, it's a little bitterness, a little citrusiness, a little citrus, a little, like I said, apricot. The mouthfeel is, there's a little sweetness and not a whole lot of maltiness. The mouthfeel is light to medium, more into the light area, and dry and refreshing. Well, it is a very refreshing beer. It's easy drinking. The bitterness is there. It's 60 IBUs, 6% alcohol. It doesn't seem like it's 60 though drinking it, but a lot of times that bitterness will kick in the aftertaste. They use 2-row brewer's malt, Munich malt, malted wheat, flaked barley, and Caterpillar's malts. The hops are Magnum, Fuggle, Mount Hood, Styrian Goldings, and Willamette. A lot of different ingredients. It's a good score on Beer Advocate, so they're saying good, a B. 57 out of 100 rate beer, 32 out of 100 for the style, so they're not too impressed. But it does get an excellent score on the Beer and Me. And I read those few little reviews, and they were positive. Well, I don't think it's a D. It's not a bad beer. It does not taste bad. These English-style IPAs tend to be much less hoppy. Nice lacing. Although some of those English-style IPAs are even more malty than this. Like they're sweet, malty, and toasty. They said they named it after the Kashmir region of India/Pakistan. And you know, the history of IPAs goes back to the British colonization of India. Kashmir is one of those flashpoints because when India was split into pieces in 1947, Pakistan claimed all of Kashmir and India claimed all of Kashmir, so they both invaded, and I know some of my foreign viewers will say, you got the history wrong, but if they're in India or Pakistan, they're definitely going to have a different opinion about it. But they've been fighting over it ever since, and there's like a split down the middle of Kashmir. India controls part, Pakistan controls part of that former princely state. I say it's good. I'll go with Beer Advocate, but I'm going to go higher. I'm going to say B+. I'm going to say very good. I like it. Talking about artifacts, which at this point now is old books. If I find any other artifacts that you might be interested in, I'll show you. I just can't think of anything to show you. This is The People's Pottage by Garrett Garrett from 1953. It's a small book. You could read it in a day. But it's interesting. He's very critical of the way the United States was being run, the operation of the government, and he's got 3 sections of the book. The book is in 3 sections. The Revolution Was, that's about the New Deal. He said that's the real revolution. Ex-America is the 2nd section. And then the 3rd section is called Rise of Empire. So it's a fascinating book. Here's a little snippet to give you an idea where he's coming from. The Lend-Lease Act was entitled An Act to Promote the Defense of the United States. It was the single most reckless delegation of power by the Congress to the President that had ever been made or imagined, amounting in fact to abdication. So you see where they're going with that, with this book. Okay, so a B+, very good. I think it's the last of the Highland beers I have. So laissez les bon temps rouler, and y'all come on down to New Orleans.